introducing our cats and Q&A.
I'm shy.
No, I'm shy too. Can we shy together?
Great. So, your cat habits. Go and present.
I'm CatHabits. Yeah, I've written many articles about cats and about the cats we saved in the animal protection here locally, and of course our own cats. Many things to talk about every day.
But we'll get to that afterwards.
You'll probably get to that. You wanna give your introduction?
Alright, well, my real name is Teresa, or Teresa Michelle actually. But some of you probably know me as Game Mistress on Twitch, and I'm a variety retro streamer that focuses on positivity and building a warm, loving community. And some of you know my biggest passion is actually saving animals. So I've been doing that my entire life, but when we came to Norway, we actually figured out Norway did not have a cat protection or an animal shelter when we first moved here. So I'm a variety retro streamer that focuses on animal welfare, and I also focus on mental health welfare on my stream. So if anyone's ever having a bad down, you guys are more than welcome to join, and we try to make you much happier.
Nice plug there.
And I'm also a small ringer's wife, and we've been married.
Oh yeah. Forgot all about it. No.
So let's get the cats introduced. I see T had a beautiful question about Tiger. Maybe I should answer that. Actually, Tiger came into my life before Steven did. So, about Tiger. I met Tiger when I was 15 years old on a farm, and how we met was actually funny because I was visiting some friends and they said to me, Teresa, we just got some brand new kittens, you have to check them out. And when I first met Tiger, he was only so small. A little orange fur baby. He was adorable. He was born with 2 other kittens. One of them we named Garfield. And, well, I don't want to bring any bad names to anyone, but Norwegians have a very, I don't want to say all Norwegians, but at that time Norwegians have a very strange view on farm animals, like they only believed they belonged outside and not inside. So when Tiger was a kitten, I used to take all the kittens and his mother in my guest room, hidden from the family so they wouldn't freeze to death, because he was born -20. And I think I met him in October. And at the time it was December, I heard the owner saying, right, we don't want those kittens anymore, let's take a shotgun and shoot them. So the owner was actually going to put the kittens down with a shotgun, and I said, am I allowed to swear? Is this family friendly?
It's family friendly.
Okay, and I said,
Says even here.
crap, no, that's not happening. I'm going to take Tiger. So I actually just put him in the car, and I came home, and my mom was like, not another cat! Ah! She was not happy.
Because how many cats did you have in the time?
We had only one, that was Jenny. So Jenny became
so
Tiger's...
not another cat, was the only one?
We didn't have much money at that time.
No, I understand.
And what happened to the other kittens? Well, I made a deal with them that they were not supposed to kill them, so they did keep them alive, but the other kittens sadly did not have a good fate, and I don't really want to go more into that. Let's just say they ran away. They actually did. So Tiger is our first, or was my personal first rescue cat. I was 15 when I met him. I was 14. No, I was 15 because I was 16 when I met you. So Tiger was with me since the first day, and that is actually incredible, having a pet. He's actually turning 16 this year. He's actually turning 16 in October, I believe. Yeah, it was October he was born. And he's quite an interesting cat. I mean, he's an orange tabby, and he's a mix of an Abyssinian. His father was an Abyssinian, his mother was a tortoiseshell, and I don't know how the heck, because we got an Abyssinian on his mother, but it happened. And Tiger also has some dominative issues, meaning he marks the property around the house because he's a bit picky with other cats. But it isn't. I mean, Norwegians are like, wow, if a cat pisses in my house, we put them down. And we're like, no, he's our son. We're not going to put him down. So we just have to make sure we can cater to his needs as much as possible.
Alpha cat,
Yeah, he's an alpha cat. So Tiger has now his own cat flap, which he uses to go in and out. He has his own spots in the cat tree, and we try to give him as much space as possible.
And he still is being...
He's still a boot. And I have taken him to the vet. So a little bit about Tiger. Red cats are actually known to be they have very strong genes, so they can survive a lot of harsh treatment. I'm not saying I treat my cats harsh, but what I mean is with illnesses. Tiger was supposed to be dead 7 years ago when we lived in West Norway. One day I came home from work and I found him collapsed on the ground. I didn't understand anything. I panicked and I took him to the vet. And the vet said to me, in Norway, he has gotten feline leukemia. There's no point in saving him. We're going to put him down. And I screamed, no, we're not going to put him down. Screw you. I'm taking him to another vet because he's my baby. And the vet's like, oh, wow, you care that much about an animal?
Yeah, that reaction, like, you care that much about an animal. I mean, they're just dividing animal, human, I don't like that when I say it that way.
So I found a hospital and we went there. So the feline leukemia was actually not a feline leukemia. It was a false positive. It was because Tiger had a bacterial infection affecting his kidneys. And because of the bacteria, he got a false positive from the test. So the vet took a new test and took a test of his kidneys, and they said we were very lucky, but we had to nurse him back to health. I mean, he didn't want to eat or drink anymore. So the vet said to me, if you're up for the challenge, you can take him home, but it's going to take a while. So I even took free from work that day, and I was on top of him all the time, nursing him back. And he pulled through. And I'm very happy he did.
Yeah.
The thing is with Tiger and red cats, they can survive a lot because they're strong, but we do keep a good eye on his kidneys. I mean, I almost lost him 8 years ago, and that was a horrible experience. But now, we do take him often to the vet, and they say his kidneys are completely fine. Well, fine. Then I don't want to say they're 100% fine. Yes, they have been a bit damaged, but we give him special renal food. And the last time we took him to the vet, they said to us, if he's breathing, he's eating, he's going to the bathroom, don't bother take him anymore because of his age, but just keep an eye on him. And so far, he's growing really strong. You actually would not guess he's turning 16. He looks very young, actually. And he is still pure muscle. He is quite the cat.
Yeah, I mean, if I have to try to get him away from a place that we don't want him to be, then it's like, he will fight against you. Then he'll just... he'll put all his claws out and drag whatever he's holding on to with.
Yeah.
When you're trying to get him away from some place.
So...
Yeah, and that was Dire anyway. And Tabby is 2 years in between. Well, I'm not sure if it's 2 years or 1 year.
I think it's 2 years, actually.
Because I met in 2005, I think. And I'm not sure if we saw him in that time or whether I think it was when I came back again.
Yeah, it was 2006.
So 2006.
So his age is correct.
Yeah, I guess so.
And do you want to tell the story about Tabby?
Yeah, first of all, I don't know what really happened because we didn't really know what happened. It was just that who saw him first anyway.
My mother.
Your mom? I thought it was the kids who saw him first.
The kids were playing outside.
Yeah, there were kids around the neighborhood. They're now grown adults, but there are kids around the neighborhood, and they found a kitten around the neighborhood strolling about, and your mom also saw it. I'm not sure who saw him earlier, but at least that ended up being Tabby, and yeah, there's a story about maybe that he was there dumped.
Actually, the story is they tried to drown him in the lake. We live next to a lake, and people are cruel. They actually try to drown him because he has a phobia against water, which if you go near the body of water with him, he will literally tear you apart. So he was only 4 or 5 weeks old when we found him, so he's actually way too young to be away from his mother.
And it was a very small kitten. I remember that he could sit on my hand like this, And there were some funny stories with that cat too, though. I mean, we were supposed to.
Find the owner.
Yeah, that's not what I meant.
No.
You know the snip snip story?
Castration. No, that was Tiger. The snip snip story.
Yeah, but he also.
Oh, I don't remember that.
You don't
go
remember that?
on.
Well, I remember at least that he was supposed to get the snip snip. But apparently we were too late already.
Oh
because
my
the
goodness.
neighbor cat's got a whole nest of
The thing is, Tabby was too
that
young.
was not
he
supposed to
was
be that way.
too young to be castrated. The vet wouldn't take him at the time, so we're like, okay. So Tabby actually impregnated the neighbor's cat. We weren't sure who made it pregnant, but when the kittens came out, they looked exactly like Tabby. And I was like, I'm so sorry. I even offered to take them over. And the neighbor's like, no, we'll keep them. They're beautiful. It's fine. But I felt really guilty because.
But yeah, in the same time, this is where I don't always stand with the story. Like, well, if people had sterilized their cats, then this would not have happened, you know. But yeah, that's another story. And after that came Kira and the oldness.
We actually forgot to mention that Tabby's actually a feral because even though he was a kitten, he was terrified of humans. So, even though Tabby trusted me, my mother, and Stephen, he did not trust outsiders. He was terrified of them. It actually took us years to make him get comfortable, and because of his special nature, there were actually times he did not come home, and I was really fearing the worst. I mean, we would look all over the place. We put out ads. We even had him chipped. And 2 months later, he returned. So I do wonder if Tabby has another family here, like he's living in 2 places. And they made us pay for the bills, and he is registered in our name. But because we used to have Russian people living across the road, not anymore, so we do wonder what he does. Because when he came
goes
back,
to neighbors, that's for sure.
when he was back, he was really fat.
goes to
He
neighbors,
didn't lose any weight. We took him to the vet. He was completely healthy.
And in the summer, he goes to all
The huts.
the huts around the holiday houses. So yeah. So yeah, that also happens.
But he is registered in Norway. We have a special website where if they find a chip, the people will get my phone number, my address, even my email address. So if anyone would find Tabby, I'll be very quick to know it's my cat. It's my cat who went missing, because we are really strict in getting our cats ID'd, chipped, castrated, and sterilized.
Where's Tabby?
Tabby's outside. He
He's
doesn't want to
outside.
come in.
And this also left, I see, or not? No, this is there.
Come on, baby. Come on. Don't run off.
There he goes again.
He's trolling.
That's amazing. We have had some other cats as well, mostly cats from the family who stayed here.
Jenny was one of them.
Jenny was your mom's, and then we had also Ginger.
Yeah,
Big
Ginger.
orange cat.
Ginger was actually our very first cat, our rescue case. It was way before Stephen. I was 9 years old. We just moved to Norway, and a friend of the family.
I just told him.
You can
take the
read
question
for me.
after.
So Ginger was this beautiful big Norwegian forest cat, orange colored, or more like a Maine Coon. Don't be sorry, Bella. I understand. Welcome back, sweetheart. And Ginger was feral. He wasn't really feral, but he was really vicious, because orange cats are so dominant they can turn vicious. And he was actually my sister's cat, but my sister actually dumped him, so we took him in. And sadly, Ginger did not really get on with the other cats. He was actually first my biological father's cat, not Gavagover, but my biological father, but he moved to England. So then my sister took him, and then she had some difficulties in her marriage. We took him, so Ginger was quite the character. But in the end, him and my sister could settle down. You need kitty ears for this part? Oh, you want me to put my kitty ears on? Alright. Yes, I have a jumper. This is actually a specialized jumper where you can put kittens in a pocket. and you can keep kittens warm. So this is my kitty ear jumper, and you know what, Bella's right, because I am having a flu. I should be taking better care of myself. There you go.
Did you already answer the tea, or
So about Ginger.
dogs must be chipped in by law in England, and it is highly recommended for cats also. Yeah. Well, it is not a requirement in Norway either.
It's not.
It's a recommendation.
Hey, Kira.
But they prefer that you have either a tattoo in the ears or that you have a chip.
We're actually trying to enforce the law to get the chip through. Because if you're an owner, you should be responsible for your kitten.
Yeah.
So we had Ginger. Ginger went to my sister, and regretfully to say, Ginger passed away at the age of 18. He died of cancer and diabetes, but that just shows. And he had one eye because the neighbor's cat had tore his eye out. We took him to the vet, there was nothing they could do. The Ginger became 18 years old.
Yeah, that's quite an age for a cat.
Yeah, especially
Not
with
the oldest cat, but
for the history he had.
considering that he had a rough history, plus that he also went outside.
Yes, I wish I had kittens actually.
Yeah, where are the kittens?
I don't have any.
What's this?
I mean, it's fluff
of rope.
material. So, are we gonna talk about the old story of Kira and the original Nossa?
Yeah, at least shortly, if you don't want to.
Okay.
I can try to. Well,
2007.
it was a rescue case, right?
Yes. It was
Shortly.
it was when the animal shelter actually just started up. We were contacted and they said they didn't have one, but two cats who needed a home or a foster place as soon as possible. Me and Stephen jumped on the occasion. And it was Kira and Nossa, the original Nossa. Kira is interested, yeah, she is.
Yeah,
The story behind
grooming.
Kira and Nossa were Nossa was before adopted twice. Anyway, the new owners, they had a divorce, and because of that, the husband abandoned 20 chickens, 7 dogs,
Yeah.
3 horses,
Wow.
and 11 cats, all to die, and minus
not just abandoning, but also, you know, they didn't get any food anymore.
nothing.
They
Minus
were just getting-
35.
They were getting very thin and everything. And
So when Kira and Nossa came to us, they were skeletons. Nossa, the old cat, her eyes were completely miscolored, and she, because of what they did, she had chronic bronchitis, right?
Yeah. I'm sorry here.
You have to talk about.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but that it's a little bit hard for her to still talk about it. For me also, but not. I can handle it a bit. But yeah, Nusse, yeah, it was a bit hard. I mean, it was a very long Christmas that day. That I remember. Yeah. She had a long, difficult life with a lot of bronchitis, and when you got ill, then you had to take the cat to the vet because they couldn't really tackle that kind of things because it was an reduced immune system, I guess. So you have to take care of it extra much. So another vet bills on that one. Hello. Yeah, I'm talking about your sister. Yeah. Nice that you're talking with me. And was it 2 years ago? 3 years ago? 3 years ago in Christmas, then she got really bad. She actually, the last 6 months before that, she was already getting bad. She was like getting less weight. She couldn't keep the weight up. She was drinking a lot. We didn't really notice it until much later, until it was too late, really. Yeah, I think she knows. She was really sad, by the way. She was depressed in good 3 days before she got back to herself. And they're all coming to me now. Yeah, so that Christmas, to make it very long story very short, but that Christmas was really horrible. We didn't really enjoy Christmas whatsoever. We were taking care of the cats and not really taking care of our visitors or our turkey that time. And right on the third day of Christmas, would you say, when we were supposed to, yeah, when we were supposed to take her to the vets, she passed away in the morning, in the early morning. Yeah, there they are. So yeah, that was a very hard one because we were waiting through the whole of Christmas to get treatment for the cat, but there was probably not much that the doctor could treat her for anymore. She was just drinking water and water and water and didn't want to take any food, so we had special food. And we were just going after the cat with the food and the drinks, but it was just sad. And so that was that. Yeah, that was a very tough week after that. We buried her. Yeah, and this kitty here, Kira, which is from the same time, she was then also very depressed. She was just lying down and didn't want to eat, didn't want to drink. Took a very long time before she started up. But the best tip I have for people who are grieving is to at some point just to try to resume your daily rhythm, because then the cats will also try to resume their daily rhythm. Yeah. So yeah, tough subjects. I mean, death of a pet, if you put it that way, is just as bad as the death of a child or death of a grandparents or a friend. It's really for us the same level. Cats are the same level as, or animals are the same level as humans. They're not, oh, it's just an animal. I really don't understand that. When people will just say, oh, it's just an animal, why do you bother? Why do you care so much? So, it's a family member, I know. They're family, they're just equal. I mean, they have just as many rights as anyone else. It is a rough one indeed, Bella, yeah. So it's good to continue at some point. Yeah, I understand.
Oh, all the Kira.
Yeah, I know, Kira is here.
Hi, Kira. Oh, she doesn't recognize me.
It's because you have ears on.
Sorry. Sorry.
She freaked.
She was like, no. So the new part about Nusa, right? So in June, I was one day on my computer doing some stuff, and I think I was looking for something on a website. And suddenly I just had this feeling I had to check. We have a page in Norway called finn.no, which is basically like a page where people can sell furniture, cars, animals, anything. So I just had this gut feeling to go there, and I did. And I wasn't even logged into the page. This is weird, but the page was acting like it was, and says recommended for you. A black and white little kitten with a black little heart on its nose. I'm like, goodness, that looks a lot like my old cat. And I didn't believe it was the case, and so I showed it to Steve, and suddenly the computer crashed, and this picture of the kitten was spamming all over the place. Make it happen, make it happen, make it happen. And I'm like, what the hell is this, a sign? And Steven's like, why don't we just phone up the owner and figure it out? So we phoned up the owner. It turns out those kittens were born exactly in the old place we used to live 2 years ago at that time. So by that, we were like, okay. And the kitten, her little brother was adopted straight away. But nobody wanted the female one, which was utterly weird because she was very fluffy, very beautiful. So we went to the owner. We drove actually 2.5 hours to have a look at her, and I said to the owner, I'm going to take her. She's mine. We even gave them double as much money as they requested because cats. Message rant. Yes, indeed, T. So, because of what was happening, I paid double because in Norway, I truly believe cats should never be given away for free. You should actually pay a bit because cats, in my eyes, because if people give something for free, it's like there's no worth. And to me, a life is worth. It's no amount money in the world it can justify a price for a living being. So we gave him the money, we drove home, and the first thing that was so weird, Nussa had an old catnip toy, which she really loved. So we gave that to the kitten. The kitten was like, my duck toy! She completely fell in love with that toy, like she recognized it, and she was also very sweet to our cats. And the cats were very nice, so like they somehow recognized each other. It was weird, and the strangest thing was how quickly we bonded, because when I take in foster kittens, it can take a few days to actually 2 weeks before we bond with a cat. The Nora was her name, but we named her Nussa anyway. Nussa bonded with us in seconds. The same night she was sleeping with us, and I think some of you have seen the picture of her being a baby where she's in my face. That one was 12 hours later. It was like, so I do believe in reincarnation. I don't want to go too old spiritually in this podcast, so maybe. So that was definitely her returning to us, and she acts completely like the old cat. It's so weird. She has the same way of talking, the same way of acting, the same way of being a boot, basically.
Yeah.
The same way of slapping you when you sleep. She will slap you across the face to get your attention. The same way of hunting. So no, the case with Nussa, the new one, is really special. So she has that's why I have created this emote on my own stream, because she's actually my mascot.
I don't think you can do it from there.
There we go.
That's nice, yeah. Sweet emote.
So that is the story of Nussa, and having a kitten is not easy. Goodness, the first nights I didn't sleep.
Hello, Nussa.
Oh, she's waking up.
Uh-oh.
And did you tell about Felicia? No, we didn't yet. Felicia's story. This is a very funny one. When the local animal shelter opened up here, I was one of the first people to throw myself on as a volunteer. I was supposed to become the leader, but I had to move at the time. So 2 years later, I'm back. I said, hey, do you guys need help? And they asked me, do you have any experience with feral cats? I said, yes, I do. Aw, thank you, Eldorado. So I came in contact with them, and they said, well, we have a very special case of 8 British short-haired kittens and a mother that was abandoned in a fuel station to starve. And this fuel station was right next to the motorway, so this was dangerous. And they asked me if I could take the most difficult cat of them all, which was Felicia, because she was not tame. So me and Stephen were like, yeah, sure, we'll open our doors up to her. And holy crap, Felicia, she was really feral. She was so feral, she was hiding from us, and if you tried to have any contact with her, she would attack you, because she was just terrified. And she was only about 6 months old when we got her, so it's a bit of a difficult age to tame a cat. Because when she was a baby, she learned humans were evil. So she didn't like us, and they weren't sure if she was pregnant. So the task started to get her to eat and drink, and what we did, we actually set up a special night IP camera, which was connected to the network, so we could see at least she was eating and drinking. Oh, thank you so much, Mickey Jones. So we were busy. Yeah, so we were very busy in taming her, just trying to get her to trust us, and that was a very painful, long journey, but totally worth. And one day we're gonna take her to the vet. That was fun. It took us 1 hour to capture her, and I hate doing this to cats because it stresses them up. And she hid behind the food blender, and she gave me
in
the
the
most vicious look ever. The look was like, I'm going to tear you apart. So we took her to the vet, and when the vet opened the cage, Felicia jumped out at the vet is like, holy crap, you actually saw her landing on the vet attacking her. We were like, holy crap.
That was so funny.
So, but Felicia, we were worried because she had breathing trouble. So she had a bit of bronchitis, but she got antibiotics, she got everything, and she was sterilized. She luckily had no kittens in her belly. And I want to say that all her sisters and brothers and her mother have found a new home.
Yeah.
So Felicia came home with us again, and there started the task of earning her trust. We got in September. Christmas, she started to sit on the couch, but we were not allowed to touch her. Oh, no, touching was bad.
Yeah, she had her own blanket, I believe.
She even had her own blanket, but she would play with us, so that was good.
From distance.
Moving forward to January, I was slowly allowed to touch her, but only a tiny bit before she would show me her butt and run away, like, no. And one day in March, I sat on the couch and suddenly she plopped on top of me. Just on my lap. There she was in my red dressing gown. I'm like, oh my god, this is not happening. She is literally sitting on my lap, and we heard her purr for the first time. And her purr was a bit broken because she didn't purr before. So it was sounding a bit rugged or very strange.
I think she learned it from the other cats in a way. That's very
So
funny.
she started to purr, and then a few days later, Garagop, my father-in-law, is it stepfather or father-in-law?
Stepfather.
My stepfather came and visited, and she sat on his lap. Just like that. Forwarding to today, Felice, you will not even see traces that she's feral anymore. She actually will sit on anyone's lap. She will cuddle you anywhere, and she'll find all your organs in your body making it with a lot of pressure. So she will put her full force on you. And she is a British short hair. I asked the vet about it, but we don't know if there's a pedigree or not. You know what? We don't care. It doesn't matter. And at that time, when she was ready to find a forever home, I contacted the shelter and I said, can we please buy her? Because I don't think it's fair for her to go through a stress to get used to another home. And the shelter said, just take her, she's yours. Don't give us any money because you put so much work into her. You deserve to have her. So she's all yours. So they paid for everything. I wanted to offer the payment, but they said no. So that's the story of Felicia today. And she loves back rubs. I mean, I can show you this. This is so funny.
Oh, you can sit next to her now. Yeah, she likes it a little bit behind her, towards her bum in a way.
Yeah,
And then she gets all like, oh yes, that's where the spot is. It's so funny. Not always easy to capture that on camera, but...
So that's Felicia. She is a very special cat. Actually, they're all special. They all have their own personalities.
Go on the couch.
Come on, then.
Right there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry. Kira's she's a bit moody today because she doesn't like going out when it's raining and snowing, so she's a late.
That's what it is.
But after we had Felicia, of course we couldn't take any more cats. We had in total about 20 different cats afterwards that came and go because we are volunteers for an animal shelter. So we take anything from young cats to old cats, cats with special needs, and kittens and feral kittens. We even help in the process of trapping them, taking them to the vet. At the moment, I had to take a short break from the shelter because I have a very strange autoimmune disease, and from time I can get allergic to nothing, basically. But when I'm more healthy again, I'll open my doors. Well, I do keep an eye on the page. If they say to me, we have an emergency case, I will slam down and say, yes, I'll take the cat, no worries.
And now you see Kira and you see GM's hat.
Meow.
Meow.
Kitty paw. Kitty paw, kitty paw, kitty paw.
You're holding in front of Kira.
Kitty paw jumper.
No.
Okay, it's like
Now
this.
she went in behind the curtains.
But we have had 20 success stories where all the cats we fostered, and we're talking about very difficult ones, even the most cats you would think they wouldn't be able to tame, they all have gone to forever homes. We even had a story of Oliver, but maybe we can talk this about another time, where I had to be awake for 2 days straight to make sure he didn't die on us.
I'll be right back.
Where are you going?
Drinking water does not help.
So that's the story about us and our cats. Is there anything you guys want to know? Can I ask a general cat question? Does a cat always purr when it's happy? Any other reasons for purring? I was wondering, what would you advise for the first time cat owner, how to go about choosing a rescue cat? Maybe, ooh, you guys have very good questions. I will answer Corinna's question first. Do cats always purr when they're happy? The answer is no, they don't. Purring is a very special mechanic which humans quite don't understand how it works, but we do know that purring, this has been scientifically proven, purring has a healing frequency that helps the cats to regenerate their cells quicker, and some even say the purr of a cat can even help humans to heal. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but I want to believe it is. Cats can purr when they feel threatened or when they're badly hurt. So when a cat feels, in a while, if a cat feels badly hurt and threatened, they will actually purr to keep the enemy at bay, saying, I don't want any troubles, I'm wounded, please leave me alone, and they will start purring. And that is a way of saying, I don't want any trouble. Cats will also purr when they feel very sick to heal themselves because of the vibration of the purr. I mean, I read someone said cats don't get cancer. Well, actually, sorry to say, they do get cancer. But I do know for a fact that cats have a very, very strong immune system. And I wonder if it has to do with purring. So they were asking if cats only purr if they're happy, but we know that's not true.
In pain as well.
In pain? And when they're in pain, they will also purr. We actually have a blog about it on our website on CatHabits.net. You can actually use the search function, you can search purr, and you should find the article there to read more about it.
Yeah, I didn't prep for this kind of question that I could send a link straight away to you to the
But
chat,
we will definitely take more about cat purring in a future episode.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you so much, Corinna, for your question. I much appreciate it. Mickey Jones found the blog. I was wondering what you would advise as a first-time cat owner, how to go about choosing a rescue cat and a cat maybe. Okay,
that's a pretty big topic though, so we can't go short on
we
that one,
actually have 3 different blogs about that on our website.
Mm-hmm.
But the very important thing to think when you're a first-time cat owner, I mean, let's destroy some myths. Many people say cats are selfish bastards. No, they're not. They're not selfish at all.
Why would they say that?
Because they're very independent. They're not like dogs. Dogs have to go for walks and stuff. See, cats do not communicate like dogs. Cats are very, I would like to say telepathic creatures, but they are very into body language. Yes, the cat will choose you. Cats are very sensitive to energy and to cats can see the soul of the human. They'll know very straight away if you're a good person or a bad person. There is no double crossing a cat. But cats are very special animals. Now, the misconception is there because I believe that people who do not understand cats, they do not understand body language. Cats actually speak more than 1,000 words just with their eyes, their ears, and with their tail. If you look into a cat's eye, you can tell straight away their emotions, or how they're acting, or how they're behaving. So, our cats do talk to us. I mean, they do meow to us, but that's because they have developed that language for us.
Yeah, they develop more and more, I think.
Yes,
also.
It's not normal for a cat to actually be meowing that much, but they figured, oh my goodness, my humans are stupid. Let's
make some noise.
Let's make a language. So basically, no meow is the same. It will have a different meaning for each animal or each cat. So when Felicia is meowing, when she comes through the door, she's meowing to let me know, okay, I'm home, and now I'm playing. Nussa will meow or purr to greet me, to say how I'm doing. She will even have conversations with me, Kira as well. Tiger only meows when he wants something or he's pissed off, and Tabby only meows when he's frustrated. Oh, yeah, when they want food, of course.
Yeah, T was asking about choosing a...
Actually, we are taking all her.
Yeah.
It's a very big subject. So about choosing your cat. What I recommend is, if you guys are going to choose a first-time cat...
It's about a first-time owner.
Yeah, first-time owner. Well, before you purchase a cat, and I recommend to go to the local animal shelter, I recommend that you first... What you really need is cat food, and I do recommend good quality cat food because cats have sensitive kidneys and you don't want to kill them off quicker. So get good food from the veterinary or from your local pet store. Try to go as much meat as possible. Toys are a very good way to bond with a cat. I mean, cats are predators. They hunt. So if you want to bond with your cat, playtime is really important. And the third thing would be a cat toilet. You will need a cat toilet. And don't tell me, yes, but my cat is going outside. No. If you're going to purchase a cat, your cat will have to learn to trust you, and that can take a few months. And the cat will have to get used to the area.
And they're not allowed to be outside in the beginning.
And there's also a huge difference between an indoor cat and an outdoor cat. And there's also some breeds and temperaments and colors to think about. Like, some breeds, like the Bengal, are far more energetic than, let's say, the British Shorthair, who's basically a bit lazy. Like Felicia is. She's a plum. But even though breeds tend to have more energy than other, every cat is individual. So I would really just recommend go to the animal shelter, look at the cat, and if a cat resonates with you, with your energies or with your heart, that cat is for you. That cat has chosen you. We don't adopt cats, cats adopt you. Once a different cats with different owners, the non-owner of the cat didn't correctly guess what the cat's meow meant, only the owners knew correct. Bella also said, mine is all over me today.
Well, the thing with cat's language, for example, if we go very quickly on Dark Knight's question, it's not only about the mew, but also and the noise they make, but also the way, the tone, plus it's and indeed the owners will know more because they know their cats, so they will know how the cat is asking for this or that, but what a lot of people forget is that the cat doesn't only meow to ask for attention, but they also have a body language. And the body language is really important in a lot of situations. I mean, so many situations where we have visitors and they suddenly get a claw or a warning claw,
or bitten.
And they don't understand why. They had the feeling that the cat was saying, "Please do more." It was like totally different.
But it was the opposite.
It was the opposite, or no, but he did warn you. What warning? I didn't see any warning.
He swiped your tail. His ears were flat. His expression was saying he was going to beat you up, and you did not take it. I actually have to train people how to stroke a cat. So if you got first-time owner, make sure you got all the equipment needed. Yeah. Make sure you get good quality cat sand. Like we do advise cat litter with as less powder as possible. We used to have walnut-based cat litter, but I'm hyper-allergic to that, and there's too much dust in it. And cats like it warm, so make sure that you can offer them warmth.
But but really deciding on whether they should have a cat from one or the other, this is always the story is whether you want to have certain people want to have a certain breed, and some people just want to have a cat. And personally, I'm more of the supporting the cats that are already out there in the on the streets basically, because there are so many of them, and as long as people don't really take care of cats, we will have more and more and more of those. So you can go to a breeder in that sense, but it doesn't help the problem really.
No.
But on the other hand, I can understand certain people want to have certain breeds because they want to have a hypoallergenic.
Like Sphinx are hypoallergenic. They are wonderful.
Hypo, not hyper. allergic cats. Sorry.
Like Sphinx is a very good breed, and there's another one with a very curly, like a sheep type of fur. But the problem is with a Sphinx, they have a genetic heart failure. A Sphinx is actually not a breed. A Sphinx, they have a gene that is an error. Basically, it was a British Shorthair in a mix of another cat that made the Sphinx, wasn't it?
Yeah. I have an article about it as well.
We actually have an article about the Sphinx because I'm
Maybe I
really
have to link
interested.
stuff here.
But our tip is, and another thing if you use the dogs, I think dogs have 20 different sounds while cats have over 100 different sounds. So yeah, take your time if you're going to adopt a cat. And one thing you should keep in mind, cats can live over 20 years. Thoughts on wild breeds like tigers.
Tigers.
Oh,
Yes.
tigers.
And tigers.
They
Is it tiger a breed?
It's a tiger.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
I don't really
Didn't
know.
know. I don't know everything, you know. I
Yeah.
guess it's a more a wilder cat. I'd say a little bit more
They're very energetic.
energetic cat. Well, if you're living in a flat in a skyscraper, then I would not go for a wild breed. Put it that way.
No.
Unless you have a lot of room in that flat.
I would say an
These cats
exotic
are hyper.
an exotic breed is not a good idea if you're a new beginner to cats. If you don't
That's
know
true.
anything about cats, do not get an exotic breed because you'll need a lot of knowledge to handle them. Of course, there's always the rule to the exception, but they have a lot of energy, and if they don't get stimulated properly, they are going to attack. They are going to be frustrated. So you really have to think about it. And to be honest, like my husband said, I am more about saving animals that need to be saved.
Yeah.
But if you guys want an exotic breed, I am not going to fault you on that. I'm not going to judge you. That's completely fine. But please do your homework around the breed.
Yeah, because there's a lot of things to research around every breed, and certain breeds have certain faults, and some need extra care, extra health care, and that can be extremely expensive as well.
Exactly, Terry.
Yeah, I don't really know the type, but it sounds like a proper tiger.
They are beautiful.
It sounds like an enormous, like a very wild, like the other
No, they're small.
springy cats,
Bengal.
Bengals.
Yeah.
Bengals are also.
We had a Bengal
Wow.
foster. Holy crap! She would not stop talking. Angel.
No, and they jump and wow, amazing. But kittens can also jump. By the way.
Oh yeah, we had 2 kittens taking down the Christmas tree.
Yeah, when we caught the last batch before we stopped.
They
so to say,
jumped almost 2 meters.
They jumped. They went out. I mean, they were like so. This is a whole topic on itself. But they were like in a box, you know, in a. We have this capture box for them. It's how you call it? A cat safe box. The flap closes as soon as they get in.
You can have them as pets, but you have to know what you're doing. So even if you're first time cat owner, read up about the cat. I mean, we have some information of
Maybe I
cats.
should leave it to that because it gets
It gets a very long topic.
Yeah.
T, I hope we answered your question about what to do as a first time owner. Get the equipment. You can even phone a veterinary up and they'll be more than happy to advise you what to do. Oh yeah, another thing a first time owner should know, take your cat to the vet yearly to get its checkup, especially if you live like Norway. We don't have rabies, but other countries do, and other countries have fleas, which we don't have really.
True.
So it's very important for the country you live in. A veterinary would be more than educated to advise you on what you should know. And read up on each cat breed, because some cat breeds can get illnesses while others are immune to it. That's-
Yeah, and the last tip I have is that cats are not very good at drinking water. If you give them dry kibble food, make sure that they have plenty of water, and it should be cleaned also every day clean bowls basically.
Yeah.
That's very important. And we have one fountain. Maybe you already have seen that one there.
We have a special catted fountain for
Yeah,
our
it's a
cats
fountain.
that filters the water, make sure they get much cleaner water than we do, basically.
That one there is a running fountain that uses 5 watts of power.
It will probably
Well, we are of course foster parents usually, not at the moment, but usually, which means that we have been checked for being a safe place for cats to be. That is usually the first thing that they do. They check your home if you have a safe place
you might want
for cats. Huh?
to turn back.
Yeah, I was actually thinking of going there, like there.
Oh yeah, to Kira.
Where Kira is. I'm a cameraman and I am. See the whole kitchen now. Well, whatever.
Oh well.
Now you see my streaming place. What was I saying? I was saying, yeah, that we had to contact the local animal protection. Can we please be fosters for you? And
they gave us the green.
and then they said, yeah, your place seems safe enough, and you have plenty of room, and you have enough knowledge about cats, so we believe that you can do this. So then we got into it, and then took a little bit of time. Now you're like, yeah, we have a special project for you for this and that cat, and that's how it started with Felicia then at that time. But we have had several other cats after it as well. We have had I don't know anymore how many, like 7, 9 cats I think in total. Quite many. How does she get up there? Well, I'll just give you a little tour here. This is the cat tree. Takes a few seconds before I see it on screen here, but there's the cat tree. They get up there, right, from the couch or something. And then past Tiger on the left camera, which is also now on the right camera there. And then you go up to the hello camera update. Up there next to the other webcam, and go over the cupboard top of the cupboard, and then beep there. And there those two.
We have made.
But Kira also goes like on the side of this cupboard.
Yeah,
at
she
times.
jumps.
So
she climbs.
She breaks the cupboard at the moment. It's not very funny. She's been here. It's all broken to pieces here, and she's like. She looks at me like.
And Kira's like, I don't give a damn. Have you ever thought of remodeling parts of the house you live in the house to be more cat friendly, like with cat walkways leading from one room to another where cats can move between?
Yeah, because I'm not sure if you can see it on the camera. Let's see.
We have.
Here. Yep. Camera update. There behind is a door. If I would remove that door, then there would be about that much space for them to go through. I was thinking of having that actually.
Yeah.
Opened up the door and removed the door, then I could get to the other side, and on the other side maybe make like a plank system or something that goes towards the rest of the hallway where we have other places to build. Maybe also
I'm going to be very honest. When we bought this house, it was in a very rough state. We've actually put all our money into the house. So at the moment, we actually do not have the funds to finish it off. But we have tried as much in our power to make the house cat friendly. We have secured all the power lines, which is really expensive. We are actually rebuilding the cellar, and that is very expensive, and we actually want to have a cat cartio in our garden in the end, but at the moment we do not have the money for it. So we are trying our best to save up as much money as we can, and actually most of our money goes to the cats. They have a better life than we do.
We are thinking of using this is the perfect fence, I think, in America. They have these fences that you can put up that have like a jump system back that when a cat climbs the fencing, the top of it will flap down so that cat cannot go over the fence. And so that system we would like to install, but that costs a couple of $1,000
yeah.
Plus import and shipping and all that. Yeah. And then also that we have to set it up. It's not so easy because we have to think about Norway climate with snow and all that. So it would be nice to have like a good place, a good amount of area of our garden, which is quite a lot of meters.
To even just to be able to install a catio, we will need to actually fix the outside of our house. We will be needing about $40,000 to $50,000 before we can do that.
Yeah, because we have to first fix our house itself before we can even start putting fences around it.
That's the problem.
But at least we live in a safe enough area in here that there is no cars coming through all the time.
There's no cars, there's no lynx, there are no bears. Well, we have badgers, but my cats stay away from it, and we do our best to secure the area I mean, the shelters have given us the green to have the cats in and out, so that means a lot.
As for outside versus inside, if you're living in a city and it is kind of dangerous for cats, then a catio would be really the better solution. I understand that not everybody has the option for that, but and not everybody agrees to me on that one. I mean, my parents also have cats, and they also have cats outside, and he goes through the whole neighborhood, and there's cars everywhere. So I think it's a scary story. But so far it has gone well with them. So, but I know a lot of places where it's not so safe. So I would plead that people use some form of fencing in their garden, and with that fence system that I was talking about, that also can be fitted on existing fencing in your garden if you happen to have a garden. If you don't have a garden, it's a different story, of course. But there is castors even for on the side of your window if your flat would permit it to you, or on a balcony.
Because our cats are used to go outside, if we would suddenly make them indoor cats, we would be torturing them. Tiger has to go out. If he doesn't, he will actually destroy the place. We have actually once tried to keep them indoors before because they lived in the city. It was just not fair to them. But when I do get a foster cat from the RSPCA or the Animal Protection Shelter, we do keep the cat in.
Yeah, it was even so that we had to tape off our normal cat doors when we had foster kittens in, because we don't want them to run out and not find them or whatever. Although cats usually don't go far away from your house anyway.
No, their radius is 500 meters. That's it.
Yeah.
That's their radius. So if they suddenly don't come back, then they either got locked in somebody's garage or they're actually hiding somewhere because something spooked them. But that's another story. Hey Callum, welcome to the stream.
Hey Callum.
Yes, if you're taking in a kitten or a young cat, they don't go out. So we have to stimulate them by playing with...
What was the week limit anyway for that?
6 months.
Half a year or so?
It's half a year you keep them in.
Half a year for a kitten.
My day is made. Thank you
Tiger
so much,
and
Callum. That's so sweet of you.
Yeah, and then we have Kira. And then we have...
And we have little Pumpkin.
That is always a bit of... fiddling. There's Nusso as well. You know?
I guess that wraps it up about the introduction roundabout. The reason why we started CatHabits is because we were up to here, sick and tired of people mistreating cats, misunderstanding cats, and treating them as dirt. So we actually hoped with CatHabits to educate people and to make the world a better place for cats.
And to educate people about cats, because there's so many misunderstandings everywhere. And even when I was writing blogs, I was researching stuff on the internet, and I was like, this is wrong. You know? All the people just copying each other, and they're like, yeah, that is wrong. It's so...
If she was used to be indoors for 6 and 7 years, and if I lived in a safe place like I do, I would very slow. It would depend on the cat. If the cat would show no interest in going out, then no, because some cats are terrified actually of going out. But if the cat would be showing interest to go out and explore, I would gradually.
Yeah, what did we do with Nusse? Because that's a really good example. Because she was like half a year.
Nusse, we kept an eye on her when she went out.
We went on the balcony here. We just closed the balcony as much off as possible. Not really possible because there's holes and gaps everywhere. But we tried to gap it off.
We really
were just sitting on the balcony with her in the summer. It was nice anyway. But
we were babysitting her all the time.
We're just babysitting her. particularly well.
And she got terrified one day. She actually hid in our car's engine, and we had to wash the oil off her. Oh no.
Yeah.
Because something spooked her. But she luckily knew where the front door was. So when I found her, and this is weird because she has social anxiety. She was like, "Who are you?" And she's like, "Mommy!" So she ran up into my arms. I had to take her in and I had to give her a shower. Poor cat. So we try to gradually, if it's a cat who's not used to, gradually get them to use the outdoors if they want to. You can actually use a cat harness for that, but the problem is cats do not like that. They will wiggle themselves out of it.
Yeah, they're not. Well, if you really want to let the cat out and you want to do it with a harness, then the idea of harness is that you have to train them with a harness. So you have to put a harness on them for a couple of minutes, half an hour, right? And you just build up that way, because they have to get used to the harness. You cannot just put a harness on a cat, put it on a leash, and go out with it. That's just not gonna work out at all. Well, in most cases, at least not. Maybe as a kitten, not sure. As an adult cat is like, what the heck are you doing with me? What's that thing? And I'll bite it off, and your fingers with it. So we have tried that with Tiger and some others in the beginning when we were living in the city, and it was just a very difficult situation because he wanted to go outside, he didn't want to be inside, and we had to get him out, and it was a very dangerous road next by, so we were not really happy about letting him just go out without it. So we tried this with a, but he just bit it off, he got it off, and he was gone. But he never got into trouble, luckily, so. Terry said Terry had a discussion with her mom years ago about what that's. Oh yeah, I see. That's why you're interested. We moved to a flat which was in a city without any green spot, and we've been in the third floor, and all of a sudden she wanted to let her out, but I had a feeling that was wrong since she never has been outside. I see. Well, in the city that is a real big problem, I would say. Unless you have no busy road and you have this park right next to your house, then it could work. Or a shared garden, you know. But it is a bit scary though. In the beginning, I would say. Especially when you're on the third floor. I mean, the cat has to get up there. Although one of our friends, who is also a mod on our channel, she has actually cats, and she has a run from her balcony down down up to the balcony basically. And they go out sometimes. But most people just limit it to the balcony. If you have a balcony, that is the thing. Not everybody has a balcony, but if you have a balcony, you can limit and restrict the cat to only in the balcony with the fencing or the all sorts of material to stop cats from falling out. It's dangerous when a cat goes jumping that far. Karina asks, do your cats catch many birds or mice? Yeah, especially in the summertime. I mean, now there's snow, so good luck, but there are not many birds going that low, and the mice are tucked away, so not many mice and birds calls right now. But when spring and summer arrives, yeah, I suppose we will get that more again. And I'm a little bit worried about it because now we have a cat flap, which we didn't have before. So now they can just take the stuff in the house. I'm not really looking forward to that part. I mean, Tiger, our big cat, our old cat, he wants to get a rat in.
Not only a rat, a sewer rat.
A sewer rat. Yeah.
And that was the time my mom was living with us, and she heard from the rat and from Tiger. So my mom grabbed the rat and Tiger and said, "You both take your business elsewhere." We have no clue what happened to the rat.
How high would fencing need to be for cats? Well, cats can climb, so they climb over the fence if it's higher. What I was talking about is a fence that I saw online that is from Perfect Fence, I think it's called. It's a special system, and there's actually two systems in the internet for sale at the moment. That sort of flips back on the top. So it is like this. Maybe I can show it this way.
Yeah, it's an
So-
angle.
So when you be a cat with one of your there, and then it goes down again.
Okay, cat does this.
Yeah. So the cat cannot climb over it, basically. And although I heard reports of some cats being able to climb over that, but that are more the very agile ones. They managed to kind of
Spider
jump.
cat.
They were like playing together. They were like this. One cat goes here, and then the other cat whoop, jumps over. But you know that not many cats do that. Most cases, the
Only
cats,
only Marvel super cats.
they do it once, you know. They will once try it out of that fence, and then they're like, okay, I cannot bother with this. I'm just gonna relax. And then the idea with us having that fence in the garden is that we will give them really lots of space.
And
I mean, we have lots of space behind us, so a forest basically.
and Bella was saying before that she was
So-
preparing food and the cat was all around her.
Yeah, cute kitties. Yeah,
I
So,
think that's it for
that's
now.
pretty well everything we can talk about now, I think.
We'll be back.
And the next time that we will have a talk show, we will try to pick up a topic from the blog, and then also be able to link it with the bot and stuff, that we have a little bit of reference to that, and then you can also ask questions, of course, again. So we'll always have a Q&A on every talk show.